Welcome back to some professional Age of Empires 4, the very first major tournament, the $20,000 Elite Gaming Genesis tournament, appropriately named, the Qualifier here, where your favorite player is going to lose to someone who plays StarCraft 2 at twice the APM. Or if you're a StarCraft 2 fan, yes, that is that guy, believe it or not. But none of them here. Let me first introduce probably the most recognizable player in Age of Empires, at least to me, in my experience. It is TheViper. I believe he is Finnish, Norwegian, lives in Germany, but like so many, here on Arabia in this best of one playing French. Norwegian. Scandinavians. On the other side, though, playing the contentious Mongols. Now, the town center rush strategy is banned along with other obviously unintended exploits, to be clear, and you can have your debates about that in whatever educated 4chan post you'd like. But let me introduce the Mongols player, Simtom. He started out with multiple scouts. Is he doing scout harass? So, your resources, and we're on Arabia, which is, of course, a callback. Did he intentionally leave the sheep there? Your resources are within a certain range of your starting town center, which does have, as we know, the ability to shoot arrows, and more arrows based on how many are garrisoned. He's just building scouts. So you can build scouts. They're 60 food. They're not free. Okay, he's just losing scouts, though. There's already the landmark on the way. Mongols have a raid bonus. When they set a building on fire, no, it's not on fire yet, you'll know. When it gets to about 20%, it starts burning. And taking damage more quickly. They get 50 food and 50 gold. So if they're able to do enough damage and deny their opponent's resources, they can actually feed on their opponent dying. Which is always fun, right? Like, who doesn't love that? And it looks like this is one of the most aggressive strategies I have seen outside of picking up your town center. Like, a legitimate but also confusing strat. I think TheViper, he already got enough gold to be able to get the school cavalry. All right? The Mongols never went to school. I'm not sure if they had schools. They learn on the fly. That's why they're out here. The Khan, she is... Well, okay, so the Khan can spawn as either and all genders, but most importantly has access to signal arrows, as well as a scouting falcon, which makes scouts even better. And I think at this point, realizing that while the school cavalry is done, that doesn't get you Royal Knights. Royal Knights cost 100 gold apiece. It's not that hard to do basic math here. As TheViper actually got some gold from this other gold patch, I think, relatively early on in order to complete that school cavalry. Well, Age 2, 4.5 minutes. And for those of you complaining Age of Empires is slow, yeah, this game has already felt like 10 minutes. Partially because villagers and scouts don't really do much damage to each other, and neither does the Khan arrows. Every age the Khan gets upgraded to have more and more combat capability, but still is mostly a support unit. What are you doing, step-husband? Oh no! Ah! Hey, wait a second! Those are scouts! I feel like... This feels like it's not doing nearly enough to me. It seems... How many resources here? Simtom, obviously, Viper is uncomfortable with the situation. But, like... What is it? Will Viper be contained? Will the gold be denied? That is the question here. And is the raid bonus enough to keep Simtom going? Let's go back to his base. All right, this is all happening. I'm so used to StarCraft 2, where units fight and then everybody's head explodes 3 seconds later, which is one of the best and worst parts of the game. But the fights will continue. But what's happening behind them? What's happening behind them is definitely the more important part. And behind this, Simtom is opting for the deer stones. So that is Mongol creep. The deer stones provide a speed aura in a large radius and provide a speed aura to outposts. So wait a second, the outpost that he's already built on the other side of the map will provide a speed aura for these raiding scouts, which is quite an interesting choice. Now, a single Royal Knight will drive all this back. Has 3 Pierce Armor, so the Khan will literally do no damage to it. Okay, it'll do. I don't know what the minimal amount is, but it'll do that. Because the Knight has 3 armor. Yeah, this looks to be over and done with. Viper managed to scrape together a Knight, and that means, while Simtom has bought some space and time for Age 2. Oh! You got the sheep, and that's what's important. Denied that food. Villagers going for the tower, which, well, is an outpost at the moment. A scout's going to try to pop into it, but it looks like it will go down well before that. Yeah, the scout actually popped out. Where do they keep the horse in the outpost? Don't ask these silly questions. So the scout popped out of the other outpost into this outpost and is now continually poking and prodding. And while the berries are not required to continue gathering food, they're definitely the most convenient next step while you're still trying to find the wood for farms. So, fun fact, Viper, because Mongols are what they are, even without the super speed boost upgrade from the Uvu, the Viper still has not yet found the town center. He does not know that the town center isn't in the corner of the map, waiting for him to disconnect or something. I mean, he can assume it, but... yeah, Viper is literally trying to find the town center now. And I assume his initial starting scout, died a while ago. We'll have to see. Yeah, he does not have a scout. I'm not sure where it went down, but at some point. Yeah, so let's do a little spoiler. Where's the town? He hasn't seen it. He knows where the Ubu is, but that doesn't necessarily... The what? Oh my god. Well, this is kind of incredibly annoying. He knows where most of the production is, and that's not something you pack up and move around too easily, but... The Khan... Oh no! Ah! Ah! Oh no! Wait. Okay, everyone's stabbing, but the Khan has fallen. And that's quite a while. It's not dead forever. A new Khan will rise, but in several minutes from the town center, so... but there will be a power struggle in the meantime. It looks like finally the town center was spotted. Let's go to Simtom's. Honestly, if we stick on his camera, we're going to have a lot more map vision. The spears, oh, they're really getting into it. It feels like the spears should do extra damage to each other, just based on the fact they have these big-ass spears, but who's better at dodging a spear than a spearman, if you know what I mean? I don't know what I mean, but you can probably come up with something. So there's still... This outpost has... Well, it has the Yam network, aka the creep upgrade. The spears stabbing into each other, but the arrows from the town center are going to be a real danger. And archery range is done, which does get a bonus. Archers in AOE4 are essentially the skirmishers of AOE2. They're anti-spearmen, they're anti-archer, they're anti-crossbow. So they're kind of your basic, like, anti-trash unit. And trash units usually consist of those things. Though, it is a little skewed, because in AOE4, technically with neutral trade posts, you never run out of gold. Wood actually does end up being the most premium resource a lot of the time. Even despite the fact you don't have to, like, reseed farms. I don't know if we'll get there, because I have no idea really what's happening in this game. As the Mongols have been, I will say this is a very thematic game. This is probably how the French would have felt if the Mongols had made it this far. Like, where is he, and how does he keep getting in my base? And when can I build a castle? Normal French things. Spears and archers on both sides. 5 in the outpost. Does seem like a lot to contend with. The Viper, any upgrades here? The archers don't have any for Simtom, and none, no basic, I don't even think there's a blacksmith on the map right now, so. He's just relying 100% on the garrisoned outpost. Simtom getting pushed back, but on the other side, oh, the Royal Knights gonna force all the harvesting villagers into an outpost. I think they killed the rest. 39 vills at the moment against 38. And remember, the French produce vills faster. I believe it's 15% in the feudal age. They produce them faster than other civs because, you know, reasons. So the fact that Simtom has managed to keep up, and obviously he's killed some villagers himself, is actually quite good for him here. The Khan! Oh, sorry. I believe the Khan may have walked into an outpost. Scout finding a Royal Knight. Sheep finding a Scout. True love story. Still a few archers denying everything. Viper trying to consolidate his base and add on production, but finding the wood for the production is hard when you continue to have to pull your villagers and build outposts. Now, Viper finally, he's got 63 supply, 43 vills against 42. His military supply is slightly less, but he does have those Royal Knights. And those are worth a lot in these fights if they can outmaneuver the spears. Remember, he's got that... Tom has the yams. Never forget the yams. Probably not how you say it, to be honest, but... that speed boost means the spearmen can actually reposition against the knights a lot more quickly than you might be used to from AOE2. The spearmen are of comparable speed to Royal Knights when they're not charging. I think like 10% less, but the spears... you gotta be very careful with those knights or you're gonna end up losing them. They are expensive. They're very good, but they're also very expensive. So it appears this villager was going to build an outpost, but got distracted by the beautiful tree, as we all have been in the past. One of my favorite little things is accidentally clicking on trees instead of my own buildings. Rams. We had yams, and now we got rams. The spearmen having a committee meeting on how to put together this ram. It's not that complicated. Siege engineering research completed. This house going to take only a few thousand more arrows to take down, but I think the ram might expedite the process. Viper now, 83 supply against 94. Any upgrades? +1 pierce armor. Or ranged armor. Oh no! Uvu depleted. So that's kind of an awkward time for that to happen. He's rebuilding it right as the ram comes in. And that means no more stone. But the stone is not important right now. All right, cinematic mode. The battle is joined. The archers going at it. I honestly, no idea how this is going to end. We will have to see. There's a lot of archers, and I think a slight archer upgrade advantage, but here come the knights charging in from the back. The ram driven back by the populace. The spears trying to get into the knights. The archers on the other side. Villagers kind of easily distracted, being gunned down by the Mongol bows. The knights just kind of ran their way through the entire base here. The Rams soaking the town center damage as the town center is unable to retarget. The Rams soaking all of this damage and potentially the archers themselves is definitely helping here for Tom. What are we at? Viper at 64 against 80 supply. The Royal Knights able to get some uptime. They also have +1 Pierce Arm. So with that, and without spears in the front, the Knights will just obliterate the archers. Okay. In a macro sense. In a micro sense, if the archers target fire and the Knights don't have much HP. Alright, the archers having it out. Meanwhile, during all of this, it looks like a few Knights, well, they could have been useful in the battle, but did take out whatever was left over here. I'm not sure if any villas got away, but there's 45 against 43 villagers. Tom with a slight lead, but how much food production? A few pasture farms, but they're not at his Uvu. So right now, the food income is about even, as we can see up there. There's still the outpost providing these speed bonuses. More rams being constructed on the field. The Viper is... The thing about the Mongols, you can't... It's hard to hit their economy when their economy moves. And, I mean, that's kind of how the Mongols work. This outpost could really use some finishing. A few more planks into it. Honestly, not having the speed bonus from the outpost right outside Viper's base seems like a bit of a mistake here for Tom. But he's got a lot to contend with as Royal Knights are in his base, murdering his villagers. The Khan doesn't really do anything to them. They could easily kill the Khan, but like 80 arrows from all these will do a little better. Tom looking for some ram opportunities, but here come the Knights charging in. Let's select it all, get some health bars. The villagers will have to deal with the rams just slamming into the town center, putting a clock on it right now. Those villagers, obviously, right, not collecting resources as they're throwing their infinite torches at the rams. One will go down. The towns are taking some pretty decent damage so far, and the rams will work through it relatively quick. Archers 1-1 against just +0/+1, so Viper does have an archer upgrade advantage. But what about the archer count here? That kind of seems pretty relevant. The Knights soaking so many arrows. Meanwhile, Royal Knights looking for any opportunity. The Gur could be moved a little bit closer to the wood production. It feels like this is running out of steam. As Simtom, just a few Knights in front with no spearmen behind them. The Knights kill the archers. All right, Knights popping out of the school cavalry. Definitely an archer counter. It's just Viper hasn't been able to get enough of them together. Reinforcements have arrived. But after all of that, 61 to 65 supply. What's in there? 4 more archers. We have a couple more racks in production. I mean, there's still income. The Mongols are not tied to any particular place. Like I said, wood is almost certainly the more contentious of resources, as you chop through those trees pretty quick. So, at running out of wood, now, a lot of your units take wood. That's a key point. Even your horses take wood. So it's not just for adding more farms or production. The archers take 50, the spearmen take 20, the horses take 20, and of course the outposts take 100. So not having enough wood income definitely stalls out any sort of aggression you try to do. Viper still, I mean, there's not much over here. It's a neutral trading post. I don't know who was here before and put that up, but support small business. Maybe support small business in the Castle Age, because right now there's other priorities. Another ram. Viper at 68 supply. Simtom, he's got 55 vills. Viper's only got 45. So here's the thing. While he beat back the attack, the villagers were in the TC. The villagers were trying to kill the rams. The villagers were doing everything that wasn't chopping down trees and harvesting grain and all those other exciting things villagers do for their entire lives. So even though Viper defended, he didn't do much damage, at least meaningful damage to the economy. Like right now, there's 13 villagers burning down this outpost. So the income is suffering. Whereas Tom is all over the place, which makes his villagers somewhat more vulnerable, but also diversifies his vulnerabilities as well. Just a whole bunch of archers here. Does he have the +1 attack? He does not yet. The ram soaking the town center damage. The knights forcing Tom away from wood, and he's running out of trees. So this may be the game could tilt either way by whether Tom can find trees, which is an interesting dynamic for sure and pretty unique to AOE4. In AOE2, there isn't nearly this much focus early on finding more trees, at least on most maps, especially not Arabia. But AOE4 definitely makes that a lot more contentious. Still, 22 minutes. Not even a hint of the Castle Age from either player. Neither has even 100 food in the bank right now. They're scratching out units whenever they can and wherever they can. Gonna go back to the revealed map for now. Another attack. 98 supply. He's got 58 vills behind it. Vipers only have 49. The Knights finding an outpost. So that outpost was in the stealth forest, which means Viper's been running his Knights by this several times. And that is why the spears keep showing up in time, is because the vision that Tom has and Viper does not. He now knows that outpost is there, but before, he was essentially running his army under an observer. Yeah. It actually has a huge vision radius. Look at this. On top of, remember, the speed boost. A second town center for Tom. Well before any attempt at castle. The Knights coming in from the left flank. They have 1-1 done. They also have the attack upgrade. Important to note, though. I'm not sure how much that factors into these fights. Wait. Okay. I just realized this icon is melee armor, not ranged attack. Okay. The attack upgrade, I'm not sure how to tell. Okay. So, nailed it. Melee armor does seem pretty nice, especially for knights against spears, even though the spears do get a damage bonus, of course. Well, this is very sad. The tag team duo. That's a lot of villagers for Tom to be losing. That's like 8-10 villagers here. That actually draws the economy even. Battle is joined across the field. Spears chasing down knights on the left flank. I'm out of here. You know, the best way to defend your buildings against knights is to drive away faster than them. So this is a problem, though. There's a lot of villagers. Tom kind of dropping the ball on this one. He was doing so great. But one knight and one spearman have evened up the economy. And it's 3 villager difference now. I think Tom's feeling a little more pressure to actually put together an attack. It's 106 versus 129 army supply. But those are royal knights, remember. So how many does he have? He's got 13 on the map and 37 archers. Whereas 40 archers, 19 tier 2 spearmen, a couple horsemen, and 3 rams alongside the Khan, putting time on the clock. We're gonna have to see with the signal arrow here. What will be the choice? The ram's just gonna hit the TC. It's already at half HP. It takes a long time to repair. The villagers pop out. The knights get some hits in. Archers engaging on either side. Signal arrow used. Rams just slamming through. The archers forced back on the left flank. Some repair coming out from the villagers now. They can be targeted down vulnerable because you can't repair from the inside. Don't be ridiculous. Knights attacking in. That's way too many spears for the knights to engage realistically. The archers on the back finding a good target. The knights can just shift around to the left side, and the archers are vulnerable. Villagers trying to deal with the rams outright, but the town center is now burning. You couldn't tell from the fire. Could tell from the fire indicator. Archers still firing over the top on both sides. I'm not sure how many spears are left over. The town center... If the town center dies, the game doesn't just end. But obviously, it would be not good for the Viper. It costs a whole bunch to repair. Well, was anything else going on for 108 to 91 supply? How many knights are left over? That ram finally goes down. The town center will be repaired. There's 46 vills against 69. A nice economy for the Mongols here. 27 minutes in. Not even hinting at the castle age, as both players are using everything they have to attack. The town center is still burning. Someone has to fix this thing. Hello? Hello? Will it... Oh, wait. Alright, there's one villager. I'm not sure that fixes... I guess it does fix faster than it burns. Okay. Well. And then peace breaks out across the land. Another ram. If it ain't broke, or if it did break, just build more. Well, rams coming in, but the knights driven back by spears. Not sure if they got any villager kills. Gonna go for the school of cavalry. That's been pumping out the knights here. Ooh, the archers finding the spears right off the bat, and suddenly, wait a second. He killed all the spears. Where's that group of knights? Given the spears the runaround, which are almost the same speed with the Yam network buff. But there are no spears with the archer ball. I think Viper, yeah, he's making a beeline for it. Without the spears, these archers are kind of in the open field. That is bad. That is very not good. He's just running away outright. Trying to find something. Well, the spears got here pretty quick, actually. Spears got here pretty quick. So, the knights trying to find an angle where they don't get stabbed to death. Everyone has some version of pointy sticks here. Some of them are just shooting them. It does look like Viper turning the tides on this one, as the knights will survive and mostly full HP. Oh wait, there was a ram! The village! There's a ram! Oh, he's going for the farms! So the Mongols get the raid bonus, even... That ram just made some money back. You know, that's a real strat. Just ram the farms. Because you get the raid bonus from the farms. Ubu depleted! Oh no! Another dicey timing for that to happen. You can tell how much stress he's been under this game if that keeps happening. As Viper just finding these engagements without quite enough spears in the right place at the right time. Right now, Simtom's food income is 1,400 compared to just 600 of the Viper. There's 76 villagers to 53. Viper is struggling. Viper is one best of one from being knocked out. Simtom on the edge of pulling up one of the... probably one of the larger possible upsets. Viper still has a whole lot of knights. Like, the knights, at some point, You just can't really move out without a field of spears. How many is that? He's got 15 of them, and they're healing up with the Chivalry upgrade. Chivalry makes you not dead. Charging into... Nope. Nope. You gotta be careful, because if you charge into spears on hold position, if they're braced, your knight gets stunned and takes extra damage. Alright, it looks like Viper's just going for it here. He's fighting outright. He's trying to target down the spears. More reinforcements coming in. Viper's archers hitting the horsemen at the back line. There's not enough spears at the front. The knights and the Khan has been killed. Simtom, his production is now under attack. He can pack it up and move, but it doesn't build spearmen while that's happening. The knights have closed the distance. The villagers have run in every which way now, finding whatever resources they can. It's not like Tom has much money in the bank. The barracks are on the run. Okay, alright. Away we go! Is that the depleted Uvu? I believe it is. Of course, at this stage, he should have many of the key upgrades, but losing out on the production also isn't particularly fun. Still 76 villagers. Viper, building some villas behind. He's got 56 of them. Alright. How many... Oh my god. Oh, I'll do the choking. These players, on the other hand. There's still 15 Royal Knights. Tom is holding it together, but there's no spears. I think Viper missed out on a big charge there. I don't know if it's gonna matter, but I don't think he realized the spears weren't quite there yet. What is Viper's supply? He's at 100. Simtom is at 100 as well, which means there's just not that many units here. Tom chasing him back to the town center. The archers are just not putting much damage into the knights. They're just so tanky. And if you don't kill them, they heal up relatively slowly, but you could be dealing with 100% full-on Royal Knight within a couple minutes. Tom holding it together. Viper dead even on supply. And that probably isn't a good sign with the Zerg-like strategies that Simtom has been showing. He has just archers and spears. Those Royal Knights are at a critical mass now. Just blasting through the spears. And I think... I'm racking my brain. Wait, there's a few horsemen. It looks like they may have managed a handful of villager kills, but more knight production has continued. Viper has achieved a critical mass at 34 minutes. Tom is plummeting in supply, and by plummeting I mean he's down like 20. He's got 35 idle villagers, but... And that's it. I'm going to assume a GG was typed because we can't see the chat here. And Viper wins. The Castle Age, but a imaginary thing that people mention in Twitch chat and YouTube comments, but not something we see on a practical basis. So, the feudal aggression, especially on these open maps, is pretty intense. I hope you guys enjoyed. That was probably the highest level game I've seen so far in AOE4. Probably slap it on YouTube, so like, subscribe, ring the bell, all of that. GG. What a mess.